Welcome to Tuesdays with Andrea podcast. This is part 2 of our podcast series with Ivory Lofton, a Chicago-based rapper named Devo. And he's sharing his insight and perspective on animal intelligence, plant-based eating, how he quit smoking. We talk about God, the Bible, racism, and we talk about his music and how it's impacting those areas and the nuggets that he wants to leave behind for his kids, his boys. So I hope you guys enjoy part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, check it out. It shares his journey of where he's been and how he's gotten to the place that he is. And I hope you guys enjoy.
And that's powerful. And when you realize you could do it once, you could do it again.
Yeah.
And do it again and do it again and do it again. And truth be told, I seen one of your first episodes a few weeks ago. And it was just like, I can't wait to do that show. And then it was just like, it just happened. But that's just like,
within days.
And that's just how life works.
Yes.
That's how life works. When you make it up in your mind and
I'm manifesting Oprah.
Yeah.
Vote.
And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oprah is my twister.
Yeah. Nah, it's gonna happen. And you'll be in the same room with her.
Yeah.
And people always told me that, like, yeah, I'll see you at the top. I see, yeah. Just like that. Yeah. I'll see you at the top. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
The universe will make it happen.
So what's your goal?
Honestly, now I do not have one. It's just like a continuation of what's going on and just continue to be impactful, whatever that means. That's a word we use a lot too. But just to play my role in life and just continue doing that. I'm honestly I just take life minute by minute now, and I actually do what we're supposed to do and just experience it, man. Like, just experience it. I don't dodge nothing. I'm not closed-minded. I'm open-minded as I ever been, and I'm just, I refuse certain information that I just don't want to take in. But as far as a goal, I'm not closed-minded to anything, but I don't have now, where do I see myself? Yeah, I see the platform extending a little bit more and making, I guess if you want to call it positivity popular, like I said, just making it cool, like to say some cool stuff, challenge people the way they think, they whole psyche, man, and some good stuff, man. I just want to put out some good stuff. Because
the mainstream media and rap is cool. Rap and hip hop in general. I mean, it's a culture, it's a vibe. I don't know how to describe it, but I know I gravitated when I was younger, and I see my son who's 17, but the stuff that they listen to, like, man, I'll listen to a song, I'm like, that is not what I want you to be filling your mind with.
Right. And
so for you to be able to make music that, to me as a mother, like, this is what you want to be listening to.
Right.
Like,
thank you.
And then as a friend, like, that's what we need, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate that and I ain't really want to step into this area, but just it's programming.
Yeah.
This is a whole system, man. This industry.
And I see it as a parent more than I saw it as a like I didn't see it when talking about labels and clothes or like buying stuff or drugs or Ambien, like I didn't recognize those when I was younger.
Right.
As a parent, I'm way more aware of it, and I feel like, what is that programming that is being like put out there to the masses?
Right.
And that's why I keep saying this, I'm a fan of your music, because I feel like it's counter to that. This is different.
And a lot of people don't know. And that's why I say, man, you got these forces, man. You got these forces and these like what the Bible called evil and wicked. Like, no, like what we think is evil and wicked. Like, no, it's some real evil and wicked going on.
Yeah. What have you seen? Have you seen anything bad? Is the world bad, Ivory, when you traveling and everything?
I think it's like I say, it's a nice balance. It's a nice balance, and you just gotta, ignorance is bliss. When you don't know, oh, this is the funnest place in the world, right? When you just don't know and you just, right. But then when you know the state we in mentally, like, just all of this is in tune with each other, right? Like this, you got a big, beautiful tree outside your house, right? Mm-hmm. And just to know that these two little lungs in your body cannot exist without that. Like, whatever that releases, your lungs need to breathe that in for you to exist. right?
Mm-hmm.
That's life. I don't care if you believe in God or not. That's factual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we let all this other little stuff separate us and distract us. You know what I'm saying? Like gravity. This is a law that God created and put, like, whether you believe or not, you jump, you coming down. It's just gonna happen, right? And I guess my outlook on that is just completely understanding what we dealing with, like what we dealing with. I'm in tune with all of this, right? We should all be in tune with all of this. So the culture that we in right now, to me, what it looks like from my perception is we're hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of hurt people out here, right? We don't know who we are. They steady confusing us. The news lie to us. The president. It's just so much going on. I do not personally believe in my life, in my seat, that this world that I'm witnessing and experiencing, because I'm a part of it, I do not believe that this world needs a, I'm trying not to offend no artist by naming a song out, but it could be the next twerking song.
Yeah.
I just do not believe
a WAP.
I do not, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that it's needed in the sense of, hey, this is the balance of the world.
Right.
To some people, it gives us a break from this. Like, oh, hey, I'm feeling myself. It's fun.
And sexuality in and of itself isn't bad.
Right.
It's just the message that we're sending young girls.
Right. Or who they
or men too. Men too.
Yeah. And the reason why it missed me is because I don't even think I really heard the song. I heard about it. And
You've
like I said,
heard the song.
Nah, I really don't. I don't listen to the radio. I don't. Nah.
What?
No, I don't have no control over it.
What do you mean?
I can't control what's on the radio.
So you don't listen to it?
No.
So you listen to curated content only?
I listen to what I can control, right?
Okay.
So if you pick up my phone and go on my YouTube, everything is set up through algorithms. They just gonna continue giving me more of what I already searched.
Yeah.
So if you just scroll through my YouTube, you'll see exactly what type of person I am, just like I'll see with you and vice versa. And that's in people's life. It's like I'm around artists and it's like, man, I just need that hit record. Well, what's a hit record? Man, I need that club thing that just, and it's like, oh, in your world, this is big, right?
Yeah.
I can tell this is what you're feeding yourself. You're feeding yourself like you think the club is big, right? Like that's where you at in your life. The club don't even exist in my world.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not a big deal. I don't. And we was going, it was an interesting conversation, but I was talking to a young lady, a young artist, and her idea of what the world was just like, not mine. Right? So she naming a bunch of artists and I'm like, who? But to her, it's like, dude, they got the hottest record. And I'm like, based on who? Right? But I listened to a lot of Eric Thomas, Ralph Smart, Jay Shetty, Tony Robbins. It's like,
yeah.
And she like, who?
I went to a Tony Robbins conference.
I know, that was crazy.
Have you gone?
I have not.
It's great. It is great. I recommend it if they do in person again.
It's people who never heard that name.
Yeah.
Right? And that shows me that perception is everything. It just depends on, you're the author of your world. You're the writer of it. What's a big deal to you is a big deal to you. It don't have to be a big deal to me. And that's why I say just living and experiencing life. I don't force my thoughts on people, right? I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it was evident to me when could be something like me and you could be talking. I shake your hand. I look you dead in your face, right? My mannerisms is intact. You'll walk away and be like, man, Vo, professional as hell. It could be another young lady and I could show her the same mannerisms and she could be like, he a little flirty.
Yeah,
he wouldn't stop looking at me.
Yeah.
You know? And that's when I realized, like, no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. You're going to perceive me the way you perceive me anyway. So I'm just going to be me, right? And in this little movie that you're writing, if you want me to be the bad guy, no matter what I do, I'm just going to have to be the villain in your life because you control your life. You control how you see. And if you just... I heard people say, I don't know, it's just something about them I don't like. Like, it's like, what the hell? Like,
so for people who are listening and they're hearing your story and they're hearing you be vulnerable and authentic and telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you want them, your truth,
Yeah.
What is it that you want them to take away from your story, from your journey so far, right? Like, what's that main message?
Self-identity, knowledge of self. That's everything. And when I say knowledge of self, it's more so people make it seem like it's so hard. No, like get to know yourself the same way you'll get to know somebody else. Right?
Date yourself. You know that phrase.
Spend time with yourself. Talk to yourself. Like, ask yourself them questions. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. If somebody bring a certain, and I'm just gonna be real, because we lie so much. Oh, it's okay. Just timing ain't right. The right guy will come in your life. No, you're just not the right person, probably. Right? Let's just be real. You're probably not the right person
At that time.
at that time. You know, it's just not a coincidence that all your relationships are ending the same way. And it's like, come on, man. We got to stop
Lying to ourselves.
We got to stop lying to ourselves and be real, right? Like, even something like love languages, in which I'm not totally against, but as I get older, it's starting to sound like a list of insecurities, right? So I could be like, words of affirmation is my love language, right? Any woman who affirms some of my thoughts, that's how I know she loved me. When in reality, it's like, why do I connect love to that? Right? Why do I need somebody to remind me how great I am? That sounds like an insecurity. And now I'm looking for the partner that can mask my insecurity.
Don't you feel like that's kind of what a partner does?
No, but it shouldn't be.
Well,
And that's why relationships don't work, because we're looking for people to do stuff that ain't their job.
True.
It's nothing you could do to make me happy. You can continue my happiness, but if I come in a relationship and I'm not happy, I don't care who I'm with. It just doesn't matter. A female could be with Mr. Belvedere, the happiest man in the world. It just, unless you got that within you, it's just not going to happen. So imagine being in a relationship where it's like, we always look for that thing to complete us. And it's like, if we looking for something to complete us, then are we saying that we incomplete without it? Do we think God will make something incomplete? Like, even that, like, oh, that's my soulmate. And it's just like, we always looking for something to blame. Like, I don't think that God has to touch something twice. I think everything that God needed in you is in you. You'll figure it out. I don't think we serve a God that small, that we understand his level of conscience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's above all of that, right? We don't.
But like, in terms of partnership and like complementary and being and investing and being with people, you know, like they say, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. Like, who are the 5 people around you? What is it? Proximity is power. So the 5 people around you tell you exactly who you are and where you're going to go. Right. Well, think about the people in your life who complement you, or your partner, or your work relationships.
Right.
They still bring something to the table that complements you, that enables you to perform at higher levels when you're in a state of collaboration versus competition.
True.
Right?
True.
Like, that's not, so you're not talking like love languages aren't real and they're not valid. Like, I feel like that's part of the self-identity, is understanding who are you and what is it that you need. And then who are the people around you who complement that? Right. Who can help that?
But and that's the level that, what word am I looking for?
Collaboration.
Well, you'll call it collaboration.
What do you call it?
I would call it something like, what a coincidence that everybody is hanging with the people that they are, right? Okay. That seemed like a common thing, if it's a common saying. Now I ask, why? Why do we hang with us?
I don't know why.
And that's what I'm saying. Why do
we hang with who though?
You said, I can tell who you are by the 5 people you hang with.
Yeah.
That works for everybody.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, why do we only hang with ourselves? Why do we only hang with the 5 people that remind us of ourselves? Why don't we entertain people that's completely different from us?
I do. I feel like I do.
I think we all see something in us and other people that make us gravitate to them, right?
True. I do believe that, yeah.
Right? All of us do. We all like to see so that's why Black Panther was so huge, right?
Right, because you saw yourself in the movie. I
saw myself in him, right? And it didn't take away from your regular Marvel fans. Yeah. They still came to support it.
But that's the representation that matters, because then you see the vision.
Right.
When you can't really see yet.
But I'm asking you, the vision is inside of you.
Yeah.
Why don't we look inside? Right? Why do we keep basing it on? So an insecurity of mine could be jealousy. You don't think that would affect the 5 friends I hang with? You think it would be 5 hot guys, or would it be 5 guys I look better than?
Right.
Right. So every decision that we make seem to be to mask our insecurities. Like, even the friends we pick is just to mask our insecurities.
Oh, deep here.
Yeah, no, and I'm not trying to go too deep, but I'm just saying that's a psychological problem that we really have to ask ourselves, okay, it's not that common for everybody in the world to, oh, you are the 5 people you hang with. That works for everybody. That means all of us are going through this. So now just imagine that in a spouse.
Yeah.
Imagine that in a spouse. Imagine if you picked this man based on what you did or didn't get from your parents.
I feel like we kind of do that as people by nature. I feel like by nature, like who you are attracted to and drawn towards and ultimately align yourself with has a lot to do with the way that you self-identify and the way
Right.
that you grew up. It's
Right.
like nature versus like, there's a lot that goes into that type of attraction, I
Right,
think.
right.
Sometimes you don't even understand it. And I feel like if you don't have the ability to look inward, you can lose yourself very easily.
You can. But again, if I can will an interview, if I can will a twist, I can will a wife.
Yes.
Right. So, and that's what we do.
Is that what you're trying to do right now?
Yeah, I guess. Right. But this is why people say, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Right. So, and that's what I mean. I can be infatuated with, let's say, pornography. I can be infatuated with pornography, watch the video. I see all the hot girls, fake body parts, right? And I could just be infatuated with it and just, oh, I want that. And
I mean, even your music, I'm thinking right now of your music video, the one that was with Twista, and there was like these beautiful women.
Right.
And I'm like, man, that must be really hard for Ivory to go through. Like you're surrounded by all of these beautiful women. Like, how does that affect you?
It's as simple as
you're like, it doesn't.
No, because it's something as simple. I don't know. It's, to me, it just seemed like it's something as simple as history. Like the way you look is just a bunch of memories and history. All of us, right? So some women might look at me and be like, oh my God, it's a nice looking man, right? And it's like, I can't get arrogant. And that this is just memory. This is, this is probably my great grandfather nose. This might be my grandmama ears. And then I might have got my little smile from my daddy. And it's like I'm arrogant and just something so, it's that simple though. So when I'm around these women, it's like I focus more on energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the body parts, that's just the collection of great genes. You're not cold. You didn't go to the store and pick that out and put that thing together, right? And you didn't put that together. No, you know, your mama and grandma, you got their hair and it's just.
But from a man, like you're still a man.
Yeah,
you still have sexual probably desires, right? Yeah. Like you still like you just said, like pornography. There's still that kind of lust, is there?
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Well, it's kind of like, what's lust without access, opportunity, place? That's when you get dangerous. Right. So I don't know lust. I don't know. I would literally have to study that word lust and look it up to see. But just going into it with my mindset now, like, yeah, is lust bad? I just know when lust meets access and opportunity and a place, then it's really bad. Right. So it's like, oh, yeah, I just can't be alone with this woman. Right. And that's another thing we do. We'll put ourselves in these situations. Well, you know what? I'm just going over to watch a movie and then and it's like, nah, that's access and opportunity. And now you mix it. You're not that. Don't think you're that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what it is. But even lusting after it, I'll get that image in my head. That's what I want. And then like the next week, it's like, oh man, I met a girl with a big butt. And it's like, to me, it seems like, oh, this is God. This was meant to happen. I was just saying I want it, and it's like, no, you idiot. You just had what do you call it? So that'll be my thing.
Like another manifestation of sorts, right?
And that's it. But it's based on a feeling. It was just an emotion. And if you don't know yourself, you'll get lost in that. You'll literally get lost in that. So it's literally like, this is how I feel right now. Right. So when people be like, oh my God, I made a mistake. And it's like, nah, you didn't make a mistake. If you learn from it, it's definitely not a mistake. And no, that's exactly what you thought you wanted at the time. That relationship was what you thought you wanted. But the problem is that was just an emotion, and emotions are temporary. So It's like, that's the type of guy I want. Right. But that's just how you feel at the time. And then you meet this guy and it just seemed like, oh my God, this is like perfect. Like he gets me. He, and it's like, no, you willed him in your life. Yeah, of course he gets you. You know what I'm saying? You've been thinking about it. It seemed like, oh my God, it seemed like we know each other and we don't. That's because y'all, you do.
Yeah.
You do. You've been fantasizing about this. Like, this is a piece of you, and it's a, everything that you gravitate to is because you see a piece of you in it. Is the point I'm trying to make. But if you don't know who you are, it'll be hard to recognize that piece.
Yeah, and that's
a
where
lot
you
of
can get
us
lost.
Move off insecurities. We get friends that literally support our mess, support our insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's dealing with an ego in the intelligent department. They want to be the smartest one in the room. You think they're going to be around for geniuses?
No,
they're going to be around for ditzy.
Yeah.
Probably, and it's just like, this is how we are in life. It seems like, and that takes God out of it, right? Because now forget what God got for me. I want a husband that I'm empty in this spot. I want a husband that do this, and then the relationship breaking is so heartbreaking because you feel vulnerable again. Oh my God, that plug, he taking all of that with him. And that's like when you really have to say, like, I don't want to live like this no more. I don't want nobody to have that type of control and power over me. Right? I'm going to get to know myself. I'm going to love myself to the point where, like how the Bible say, love your neighbor like you love yourself, right? You can't love your neighbor unless you love yourself, right? Because you don't even know what that love look like.
Right.
You just don't know what it look like. And it's orders to it. Like, no, you got to love yourself like you love your neighbor, right? Like what takes place first, the loving yourself part.
Yeah.
So that's why I say we go through these insecurities and not knowing who we are and not knowing. It's just like a cell phone, right? Like my father has a cell phone. He literally calls, texts, take a couple pictures. That's it. A cell phone to me is, I had somebody reach out to me yesterday in India saying how much of a fan they was, right? Same cell phone. I know how it work on these levels. I know that I can be in 100 places at one time with my cell phone because I know it has that feature. My father don't know it has that feature. So he just used it to his best ability, right? And that's how I look at our lives. We all cell phones. And the more you learn of what you're capable of doing, the less you stop pointing. Oh, it's God. Well, God don't want me to have it. Oh, it ain't timing yet. Or God, I found the husband, thank God. And then we get divorced. Oh, no, God ain't want me to be. And it's like, fam, we just keep blaming people, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just make God sound like a not pleasant person to serve, right? Like, just to me.
Like weak as hell, right?
Like, fam, take some ownership.
Yeah.
Take some ownership. You did that. You picked that wife.
Yeah.
Right?
You plagiarized.
Yeah.
You made the choice.
Period. It
I
ain't
got
God
pregnant.
Ain't want me in school.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is what God had for me. No. This is what you have for you. This is what you have done.
But the God in you is speaking to you
It's
loudly.
Speaking to you.
Yeah.
Right. And I believe in God. I honestly would even go far as belief and say, like, I know he exists for reasons that a lot of people probably wouldn't believe, but I just had some personal experiences with him. But it's that thing of like really being honest with yourself and saying like 3 words that the world don't want to say is,
What?
I don't know. I don't know. Right. And it's just that simple. Like stuff we don't know, just say we don't know. And it's that simple, but we think we know everything.
Right.
I'm sure you got one of them aunties that like, nah, you can only get through heaven through, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, like, auntie, we believe in God, right? Like, believe is not knowing, right? That's why it's a belief.
Right.
I don't believe in my mom and dad. Do you believe in your mom and dad? No, you know they exist.
Yeah.
They're your mom and dad. You see them. Right. And we start forcing our beliefs on people, man. So when you talk about the condition of the world, it's nothing I can do musically to fix this. This is something else. I can only play my part and better myself. And I got a lot of good energy going on. There's still some negative in there, but that's just, it can't exist without it, right? You need positive and negative to
it's
even
the yin and
exist.
yang.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of that. But now I'm in a position, Dre, when I tell people, focus, do I still get mad? Hell yeah. I feel it coming though. I can be like, okay, yep, I feel it coming. Why you feel this way, Bo? Okay, I know what she said, but why did it trigger you? Okay, so look, calm down. And now I talk myself through these situations and it's like, oh, no, now I see it, right? You go to work and it's that girl you work with, she's super confrontational, right? What don't you want to do with someone confrontational? You don't want to talk about anything that's confrontational, right?
Right.
I know you. I know what you're trying to do. Hey, Vo, you see the game last night? What you think about that call? And I ain't even see it, knowing damn well I seen it, but I ain't even see it. because I know you confrontational, and it really don't matter what I say. You just gonna take the other argument. I'm not gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna flip it. What do you think about the games, right? Oh, well, I think it should have. I'm gonna go check it out, right? And it's like I have that advantage just because I know me and I got a good idea who you are, right? And you see how much stress that saved me. So just imagine if somebody really knew they self, right? How much stress they wouldn't go through.
Right.
Right? Like, no,
I have the power to control and protect my own space and energy.
Period.
Yeah.
So you know who you are, and you know exactly what you want to do, Drea. And I believe that God made you intelligent enough for you to make a grown woman decision and say, this is who I am. This is where I want to be in life. That's all I see. I'm moving towards it. I cannot be with this type of man. This type of man doesn't fit nowhere in here. Do he look good? Oh my God. And I can't keep my eyes off of him, but he does not go with this. Right. And you just completely avoid that barrier. You're not even tempted by it. Right. You're not tempted by it. It's like cocaine to me. Cocaine might be tempting to somebody else. You can put all the cocaine in the world on the table. It's only tempting when you want it.
If you have an appetite.
If you got an appetite for it. If you ain't got no appetite, I could be around cigarette smokers all day. I just don't want to smoke. I'm cool. I ain't even tempted by it. But somebody who just stopped smoking,
so
it's
did
like,
you quit cold turkey?
Oh yeah, I quit everything cold
really?
turkey. Yeah.
Drinking too?
Drinking too.
Drugs? Any drugs?
I smoke weed a little
bit. Like that's
yeah.
natural. I think that's different.
Yeah. And that's mostly a choice. But just that type of power, like, man, anybody, even if you're dealing with some weight issues, like it's all mental. I don't want to look like this no more. We want to get into the particulars of, oh man, them withdrawals gonna be crazy, or man, I gotta eat like what? All that don't matter when you make it up in your mind. Like, no, I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna do it because I don't want this anymore. I do not want this.
And your higher self is enabling you,
period,
to have that control.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I can't do as much king talk without no
king
evidence.
Walk.
King, right, without no king. Ooh, I can't do no king talk without no king walk. And that's just how it is. And that's just me. I'm in tune with what's going on. What worked for me might not work for you. I'm at that point in my life where I still eat fish, but I just choose not to eat animals anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Good.
I don't. And it's been some years, but I tamper with it back and forth. But it's just like a level of a higher consciousness that I just was open to and just said, you know what, let me take this into consideration. And it's a lot of like we all know energy don't die.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell people like, man, can you imagine being that pig or that cow? Like these are intelligent creatures. Right.
I haven't thought about it that way.
Yeah, no, they're extremely intelligent.
Well, I know that they're intelligent, but I haven't thought about them in terms of energy.
Oh,
and like,
energy.
and then you kill them, and then what happens to that energy?
Yeah, right. Where does it go? It don't.
I don't want to think about that.
Right. So just imagine, and although we don't have to think about it, just imagine that pig who's in that little playpen with his family.
No,
No. And his brother go to the back and never come back out. He just hears screaming. And his mother go and never. You don't think that pig's scared? You don't think he fear? Right? You don't think he going through all these emotions?
And then you eat that meat.
And then you putting all this fear that we think, you're putting all that in you, right? You're eating it. It has to come out, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, Dre. And then we'll make, we got to survive. And it's like, I'm stronger than ever on plant-based diet.
So you've noticed the physical benefits?
Oh, off the chain, even mentally.
Really?
Even mentally, right? It's just way clearer. Now you're more in tune with this whole thing. And that's why I say to understand. Understanding is everything. We just who was it? Let's go back to Sadhguru. I think I'm saying his name wrong.
I don't know how to say it the right way either.
But he's an amazing dude,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So he would say something, it was just on the tip of my tongue. We'll come back to that.
We'll go back to that.
Forget.
Okay.
So I was talking about that tree, right? Like we literally cannot exist below it or above it, right? Now this is just the intelligence of God, right? And even though water has oxygen in it, that's not our element. We cannot survive, right? We can't breathe water, that air, right? It's H2O. It got oxygen in it. Even on a plane, high buildings, right? They got the air that come down. You can't breathe up there. A window crack, you'll suffocate. And it's like, we literally cannot exist that far from a tree. And when you understand that, like, I need this thing to exist, then you're like, yeah, like, Brian, we shouldn't cut them down. Like, that's just stupid. Why are we cutting them down? I know we got houses. It ain't no other way to build a house, though. And you'll start having these thoughts of just like, we messing this place up. We messing this place up. Animals. Like, you ever seen an ant, like, carrying, like, a Dorito?
Yeah.
Like, just the conscience that it takes to do that. Like, winter is coming. I know it's coming. We can't survive in this. I can't be climbing through snow.
And I have a job to do.
And I got a job to do. And I got to do that by this. And
I'm the one who has to go find it and then take it back.
For my whole family.
Yeah.
Now, that courageous animal that can climb up a wall, it's been times I knocked the ant off the table. It just get to crawl. It's like, dang, like heights don't even kill it. Like,
Yeah.
It took some intelligence to make this. And we'll just be cutting the grass and we'll just roll over the ant farm and just kill the ants and just little stuff like that. Like, but
it's funny that you say that because now it's springtime.
Yeah.
And I have bushes and stuff right around here in my office. So I get ants coming in at this time.
Right.
Like this whole week I've seen like trickles of them here and
Yeah.
there. And every year I normally borax them. Like,
no, I'm with it too.
But-
I'm not the biggest fan of like rodents.
But this year, I tell you, I saw, and I don't even want to kill them. This is weird. Like, this is not like me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it made me stop to think about like, you just want to live and I'm in your way. You're in my space, but I'm in your space.
Yeah.
It's making me think deep right now.
Typically, an ant would climb a tree. But since you cut them down and
Right.
built your house out of a tree, like, I'm sorry for thinking that this is all this wood in here. Right?
Right.
My
But
bad.
it's so true what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's about living in harmony.
And we
ultimately,
all need each other.
it's
and
harmony.
When we realize that.
And that's what music is, harmony.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's a universal language. So, and I'm just saying that to say, like, next time you're in traffic, like, really think about it. Perception is everything. It's two ways to look at it. You got that guy who driving fast, trying to get around you. Yeah, he could just be running late for work. But then again, and it's a little far-fetched, but he could just get a phone call that his kids is in trouble or something, in which you would do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just all perception. It's how you choose to look at it. And typically in a situation like that, we'll throw our middle finger up, little road rage, like, man, slow your ass down, man. You know, not knowing, like, what if it's a reason he's speeding that's like a reason that I would speed?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even want to understand. And we
Right.
just hurt people. We hurt. We beat up. Don't nobody get us. Everybody on the internet, beautiful, living their best life. Vo got 26 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing, like, bro, Vo going through some depression,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, Vo just not getting this stuff together, but y'all only see 26 million views. Like, not knowing, man. Like, do you know how many people say mean stuff about me? Like, I have to love myself to do this. Like, I have to. There's no way I couldn't, you know? So it's like, that's just where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And
It's
I
a
know this
beautiful
conversation
place that
get
you're
deep.
at.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space.
Yeah.
You're able to be yourself, to show up, to be brave, to be real, and to still be happy, to
Yeah.
still be hopeful.
Yeah. I am hopeful because we can do better. It's just understanding that, like, if you really, really believe in yourself and really, really believe in God, like, you just got to question things that you never thought you would question and just be open-minded, man. Because closed-minded means what? Case closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
no, I believe in God. I believe in Christianity. And I was raised a Christian. I believe that this is the way it's supposed to go. You're going to go through heaven through Jesus Christ. This is God's book, and that's it. So any Muslim talk, any monk talk, any Buddha, I don't want to hear it. My
Is
mind
that
made
you?
up. No, but that's people. That's
Oh.
what I mean. That's what closed-minded to me is.
Okay.
It mean like
Yeah.
case closed. You're not even willing to understand, like,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
being a Christian does not teach me to meditate like Hinduism do. Monks.
Buddhist?
Yeah,
Buddhism. I'm not
Right?
sure which Taoism.
So they like masters of the mind. They study the mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Muslims just, it's like, I know, I don't eat meat. It's like, what's the bad part about all of this?
Yeah.
Like, what are we fighting about?
Yeah.
All of these seem like great things to me.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
It just seemed great to me, right? And it's hard for me not to believe that God exists. And maybe I'm just saying that because I do not see man doing this. I seen man do some crazy stuff, but like this type of stuff that's going on here that we take for granted, stepping outside and actually breathing in some air, like that's like, nah, like oxygen is like the craziest thing in the world to me. And I think if people really sat down and said like, damn, I'm really surviving off of what a tree gives off. Right? Now, if an animal died and we used it for clothes or food, I can see that. But when we're just doing it, right? It's just no reason why I feel like, how many wings do a chicken get? 2?
Yeah. So
if every chicken got 2 wings and like just your typical Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao fight or the Super Bowl, right? Like my family, we're going to get 150, 200 wings. You know how many chickens that is? And everybody in the world is doing that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, do this many chickens even exist? Or are we doing something to fast forward the process? So now we living in this capitalistic world. Now it's like, yeah, it might not be chicken, but we'll make it look like chicken for them.
And as long as it looks like it, tastes like it.
We don't know what we eat.
Yeah.
We don't know what we eat.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? 50 wings, yeah, that's 25 chickens, right? If every chicken got 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're talking 200, man, that's 100 chickens. 100 chickens had to die just for the Super Bowl festivity to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you look at it like that, it's like, I don't know. I'm just big on emotions and feelings. Big on emotions and feelings.
Wow.
And I just don't want to eat nothing that got a brain no more. I just don't. Not that level of intelligence. Like, who the hell am I? It's wonderful animals, you know? And then what make it the animals they pick? All right? Like, what make it cow milk that's so popular? Like, why not horse milk? Like, every animal that give birth to something give off milk. What made us just go with the cow?
Yeah.
Right? And the goat? Why
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't you think a human would drink human milk? Like, don't that just seem like the common thing to
do? Yes, right? But
like breastfeeding, like that's just seem like the common thing to do. Like, not, oh, I'm gonna take this milk, this thing that was formed to turn this baby calf into this man. I ain't never seen a cow eat meat. And you know how strong they are? Right. That's what this formula in milk is meant to do. Turn a baby calf into this massive, and we give it to our kids.
You're making some good points.
Yeah. And we giving it to our kids. And it's just like, and it's just understanding how it works. That's it. So even from a fitness standpoint, right? Like, it's somebody out here dealing with weight, right? So it could be a situation where it's so much water in our body, we naturally crave water. If you're not naturally craving water, you're going through something called water retention. You have too much water in you that you don't even have a taste for it, right? So people who don't drink a lot of water is because you're going through water retention, meaning you have too much sodium. Your sodium intake is crazy. And that sodium is kind of soaking up the water and it's making it stay. It's not flushing through you like water is supposed to, right? A lot of people probably didn't know that. And now that they do know that, watch some of the benefits in their health start to take place now that they realize, like, oh, I hear about the calories and the carbs, but dang, sodium do that? And that's knowledge, right? So imagine if you knew how you work. It's that life is that much more fun. Like, right. I could do this. I could do that. I could think myself out of this.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds crazy. Like, I can think. No, you literally can think yourself
out of this.
Yeah.
I can think myself out of this.
And that's the best advice I tell anybody, right?
I love that.
We too opinionated. And that's the part of social media I don't like. It gives everybody a platform to have an opinion. And we don't need no more opinions in this world. Like, literally, my only advice to people, I'm going through it. What you think I should do? Think about it. Just think about it.
What, to keep your opinions to yourself?
Who says I'm doing it right? Even if it's working for me, right? Your marriage could be beautiful. Like, what work in your household just might not work in my household.
Yeah.
And we're not honest enough to tell our girlfriend that's going through relationship problems. We want to tell her, look, this is what you got to do. Even if he come home tripping, it's like, no, that's what you would do.
Yeah.
Right? Her situation and her man.
Different.
And I'll just tell her, think about it. Think about it. Right? And that's the best advice you can give somebody, because that's where it happens in your thoughts. Just think about it. You'll figure it out. Trust me. If you sick of your marriage, man, like that, think about it. Think about it. Yeah, think about it. Start to meditate on it.
Think about it.
You'll think about what you don't like and what you want to change, and change will take place. Right? And that's like That's just great advice to me.
Right.
That's better than, look, this is what I would do. I tell her, man, you let that girl do what? Man, you know, and it's like, come on, man, that is so poisonous.
Yeah.
It's so poisonous. Just think about it.
Yeah, use your brain because you have it. You have intelligence. You have the ability to
figure it out. Figure it out, right? You heard of Bob Proctor?
No.
Okay. Bob Proctor gave a story. Guy walks in his house, right? Kind of raining outside, power outage. All the lights go out. He bumped into a table and dropped his keys. And he looking for his keys and can't find them. And he noticed like, oh my God, the street lights is on outside. I'm not finna sit in this house like an idiot looking for my keys in the dark. I'm about to go outside, right? He go outside, start looking for his keys under the light, right? And one of his neighbors see him and, hey, what you looking for? Man, I dropped my keys. They're like, oh. So the neighbors start helping him, right? Another neighbor come, they all looking for his keys. And one of them say like, man, where you drop your keys at? And he was like, man, I dropped them in the house, but it ain't no light in there. So I came out here, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're never going to find them out there because it's not out there, right? Mm-hmm. And that sounds stupid, right? Like, why would this guy be looking for his keys outside? No, you know, and that's just what we do. We going through all these problems, and the answer is like literally inside of us. And we go looking for this guy, that guy, this person, that person, Keisha, what? And it's like,
except he recruited 2 other people to help him now. So he can just go to the house and he can find them keys.
But I'm just saying, that's how contagious stupidity is. That's how contagious stupidity is, that you will have 3-4 people out there with you looking for something.
You're right.
Fam, there is nothing. The way God built me, the way that this thing worked, everything I need is here. God do not have to hold my hand every step of the way. He knew what he was doing. He built this thing perfect to operate, whether it's on his watch or not. Like we would all like to think, and I don't even know this. I don't know this, but I'm just open enough to challenge people to think like, if God is all this that you say he is, why are you so dependent? Why are you so dependent? It's like a slap in the face to me, to God, like, right? Like he created you, and yet he got to hold your hand and take every baby step and give you the right husband and he got to do all this for you. Right? That don't sound like a God that really put this thing together. That don't sound like the God of intelligence that built this tree for my lungs to breathe in, right? Yeah. It don't sound like that type of God that created an element for everything, right? It's a reason hawks and eagles fly alone, but it's a reason why other birds fly in groups. It's like all of us got these, you didn't have to teach a baby how to urinate. It just came out and urinated. Now, we probably had to tell it where to aim at and how to direct it, but these are just natural functions. Dogs just naturally bark, right? Mm-hmm. A mom dog give birth to a dog. I take it in as a pet. The dog, I didn't teach it how to bark. Right. It just like, no, God is intelligent. We try to minimize them off on our insecurities, right? Because we don't want to just take ownership. Like, oh, well, God ain't want me to have it. No, you just lazy. Mm-hmm. And you just giving up right now. And in order for you to cope with it, to feel better about yourself, you're going to blame God. That's crazy. Or the devil made me do it. Nah, I don't think the devil made you do that. You did that. Yeah. You did that.
So what is it that you like, what's next? Like, where do you take and how, like, what are you going to do with all of this? You have all of this like wisdom and.
You would call it that? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know, Drea. What do I do? Like, I'm going to think about it.
Think about it.
We got to come up with a clothing line called Think About It.
Think about it, right?
Think about it. That's dope.
That is dope.
Oh, is it already up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, it's yours out there.
Yeah. We're going to run with it. And that's what it is. That's just how I feel. That's where I'm at in life.
Okay. So last question for that younger guy who is feeling like he is messed up. He didn't make the right choices. Maybe he's not a godly person. Maybe they don't have that relationship yet with God or is in that same spiritual mind as you. Mm-hmm. What can they tell themselves? And think about it. Doesn't really think about what? My life sucks. I'm nothing. I didn't achieve.
And keep studying.
The what?
And keep studying yourself. Yeah. Think that. If that's what you want to think. All right?
Okay.
Think it. You created this show, Dre. Tuesdays with Andrea, right?
Yeah.
When I watch this show, I can literally see a piece of you in it.
Uh-huh.
I could see your DNA in it. I met the family. Like, I'm looking at your kids like this is so you.
Uh-huh.
If you see my kids, you'll be like, oh my God. If you listen to my music. Right?
Yeah, I have.
So
yes.
That's my way to say all of us are creators. Every single thing that a creator create, he puts his DNA in it, right? He puts a piece of himself in it. So the reason why I could see you through this show is because you're the creator of this creation. And although you're the creator, a piece of your DNA went into this creation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even with my music, yes, if I come out with an 18-song album, these are 18 different emotions that I feel. It's small versions of a bigger mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to study one of my songs, you studying one of my songs is you studying an emotion that I had,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I tell people, study yourself. Because if God made you and he's your creator, it's a piece of that creator in you. You're the creation, right? God did not make you without leaving a piece of his creation in there. So studying yourself is studying God. To me,
Ooh.
right? We just in a Christian world, we don't like to say that.
Yeah, God's not in you.
God. Oh my, like
or like when Kanye came out with that song, I Am a God.
Right.
And everybody went crazy.
Yeah, they did go crazy, but it's like if he created us in his image, right?
Yeah.
Like the first thing in
the
the
king
Bible,
in you, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a king in you.
It is. Jesus was the king of all kings. Who is all kings? Or
right.
Ye are all gods.
Yeah.
In the beginning, God created.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Only creators can create.
Mm-hmm.
So God is a creator. And that's why we need to study ourselves. Because so are we. And we create the exact world we live in. If you're going through hell, you created it. Right? Now, you do have circumstances that put you in, you can't think about certain things. So I could talk about racism, for instance, slavery. That might have been, it's easier for me to say, think yourself out of that. It's easy for me to say that.
Yeah, does that get you triggered now? I mean, this is like a high, it is pressing, it's relevant, you feel it.
It's always going to be a challenge for me. Always. Just the fact of when I sit down and really think about what I'm asking for, I'm asking a lot of people to understand what it's like to be me. And the reason I'm even asking it is because people don't understand. And the fact that they don't understand, it's like drives me crazy. How do you see a group of people, all of us, you know what I'm saying? A group of people go through so much pain and like, man, like who you is important. Even in the Bible days, like, oh, I'm Abraham, son of, you know what I'm saying? I'm Jacob, son of Abraham, or I'm David, the son of, your family means a lot. Like, I don't know where I'm from, Dre. Everybody throw African out. My grandfather was an Indian, right?
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, maybe I didn't come from Africa and was a slave. Maybe they just trying to make me think I came from nothing to make me think that, well, and then every representation, they show Africa, it's some sick kid with flies on them, like they not eating over there. Psychologically, what that do to me is it makes me grateful, right? Like, oh, I could be back over there. And it's like, or not. Maybe I didn't come from back over there. Maybe my ancestors was already here. Maybe my ancestors is the one Christopher Columbus and them got down on. Maybe all of this is mine, which takes me from being this poor little kid from Africa that y'all want to make me think to maybe I was royalty. Maybe I had this whole land before, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's like, everybody, Mexicans, it's like, it's an actual place called Mexico, or even Puerto Ricans, like it's an actual place called Puerto Rico. Like I never heard of a place called Black or African American, or they just completely took a group of people and just messed up their whole psyche, like just completely and turned them against each other, right? And I'm watching it happen.
But don't you feel like music plays a role in that?
But that's part of their plan, though.
Yeah,
that's part of their plan,
right?
Yeah,
and this is your plan.
This is mine,
right?
And this is why, like, my Facebook videos get taken down for talking like this, right? Silence. That's that's too much, and that's why I encourage Black people to. That's why I have to get this good musically. I have to talk in riddles. I can't come right out and say what I want to say. I got to speak in metaphors, right? And that's why I say even with my kids. This is my way to leave breadcrumbs. You know, it's not something that you'll just unlock overnight, but yeah, manifest on it. Think about it. I'm saying some pretty intelligent stuff that I think is a couple years. So it doesn't shock me that it's not as big as I never thought it would be. I never expected it. I just did it because I loved it with no expectation. Right? I feel good regardless. I sleep good at night regardless. I did my job. Now, whether the people perceive it or not, that's not a reflection of me, because I know that a majority of this world is not a world full of real and honest people. So if
you don't believe that?
Not real and honest. No, it's a lot of people who don't know who they are. It's a lot of people who believe anything you tell them.
Okay.
Like really believe that. So I do not look to exceed in a world where it's like, no, this world is like lie driven. This is everything is for clicks. Everything is you. I don't know what to believe now. You know what I'm saying? I see killings on Facebook and be like, man, was that fake?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm seeing now.
Yeah.
I can't trust these people. I can't. It has to make sense up here. It has to. They touch it. They tamper it. They mess with it. Right? Now, I told you I grew up Christian based, but like even something like the King James Bible, it's hard for me to believe that man could touch anything without leaving his DNA in it. So it's some parts of the Bible that I would have to honestly ask myself, why don't my spirit relate to this?
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
There's part of the Bible where I believe it. I was raised on it.
Yeah.
So like I quote the Bible. Like I just said in the interview, like what the Bible said. But part of me is like,
what do you think that is? What part of you? All right.
The part of me that doesn't, I don't know.
I call it stepping into who you are, right? It was a point in time where the world can silence you and tell you that this is it and this the way it is. And then you kind of get older. And when I say ignorance is bliss, it's just the lack of knowledge. People perish off the lack of knowledge. That's in the Bible, right? Now, I do believe from a business standpoint that this Bible is the #1 selling book of all time.
Yeah.
Every year. And I do know if I was just, let's just say.
Right. If we're going to choose a book to go off of.
Right.
Like we probably should go with the Bible. It's right. It resonates with the world.
But then you have to ask yourself, because people will make excuses. Oh man, God can use anybody. And it's like, I do not believe that I can devote 100% of my life to a Caucasian male named King James who owned slaves, who practiced so much hate, who went and got some of the best writers, who honestly was thinking business minded. There's a lot of money in this book, but I can't just copy it, right? This what Vo got kicked out of school for, plagiarism, right? So let me change some of the words and make the people think it's a translated version when really I'm probably just dodging copyright infringement law cases, right? So I drop it, change some words, but not knowing changing words is changing everything, right? So now 33 books of the Bible was taken out. Well, what was those 33 books? That's what I want to read. Like, why you take that out? And now you replace it with stuff like, I hope I don't offend nobody by saying this, but we are serving a jealous God. That sounds like a human emotion, an insecurity, right? And I just told you jealousy only exists when you compare it. So you're going to tell me that this intelligent God I serve has a weak human emotion that I'm suffering with? So this God that's everything, that created everything, is going, I don't want to kill him.
Don't.
Yeah. Is that an ant?
Yes.
That is an ant.
That's an ant.
And I said an ant on it. But this
don't
is what I mean when
I
say you will stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
like people
crazy.
But I'm saying people would be like, oh, what a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. It's not. It's not. Right? Everything you say, here comes the test. Right? Oh, will he kill an animal? Will he kill? What's all this? Not, yeah. No. No, and that's like a real ant, which is crazy to me.
I told you it's springtime. I have the bushes and stuff.
And we all in sync with each other.
Oh, you're going to put it on your hand? He's like, nope.
that's just a little ant, man. But the question is, how did it get up here? Right?
Right.
How did it get up here? No elevator, no stairs, no nothing. And you cannot tell me that the intelligence of God did not create that. Why do we think we're that much over that? Right? So when the Bible say stuff like all slaves should obey their masters, that sounds like something a slave owner would put in the book to make me think like, oh, we're supposed to listen to him. Right? Don't it? It just sound like that. Or a man who write Like, no, it's cool for a man to have 6 wives. That sound like a man who cheat a
Right.
lot, right? That don't sound like the man who just got.
It don't sound like the wife.
Right. It definitely don't sound like the wife, right?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So you read these things and it's like, like, yeah, that don't sit right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It don't sit right in here. Sodom and Gomorrah. God drowned the whole world because of homosexuality. But homosexuality still here? Like, what type of God do we serve? Like, he messed up and then said, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to kill everything. And he killed everything and it's still here. Like,
yeah,
it's just like, what type of God are y'all telling me we serve? Right? And I just look at that as like, these just might be the small human mistakes that humans make. Humans just make this, right?
So then where's the hope for you?
I believe that if you change the way you look at something, you can change what you look at, right? Just the perception of it, right? I probably can't change it, but I can change the way I look at it, and that changes it,
Yeah.
right? And it's just all perception to me. It's all perception. Just that level of understanding, knowing what you're dealing with, knowing what it is. Was this world designed to be this or be that? Or am I asking for something that probably wasn't? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should humble myself and stop thinking that it's 8 billion people in this world. And we all think we're the one.
Right.
We're the one. Oh, I understand God. No, God put us here and it's like, man.
And we are, though. Don't you feel like
That we're the one?
Yeah.
No, well, in the sense of, I'm the one that I'm worried about. I'm the one that I'm concerned with. It's my life that I'm looking to change. So, yeah, I do believe that I'm the one. I believe God definitely and I'm going to exercise that. I'm going to put all my energy into bettering this, right? And if I better this, everywhere that this goes becomes better.
Yes.
Every room that this enter becomes better.
Yeah. When you change here,
Yeah.
you can transform your surroundings.
And that's what you're good at. And that's what I mean. Like, that's a gift, dude. Everybody don't have that. Some people can walk in a room and people just be like, it just got dry and negative in here, man.
Yeah. So it sucks to be in that situation.
It do.
I'd like to have more control than that.
And you do. And that's what I mean. And that's the type of control we get to where you can literally control your appetite.
Yeah.
The temperature, your coldness, you can control that. It's all mind. It's all matter over mind, right? Like, it's all, and that's why I say we give in. We show signs of weakness like, man, I want some chicken. I got it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no matter what, like, dude, your fist is the size of a stomach. I mean, your stomach is the size of a fist. You can't even fit 6 wings from Harold's in your hand. But you psychologically think that this is cool to eat to that point where we here, you can control that appetite. Yeah. You can make up your mind. Cigarettes or whatever. I mean, whatever you do to get by or you think you're doing to get by, then.
How did you quit cigarettes? And I know we're running over now.
I thought about it, right?
You thought about it?
I'm being honest. I just thought about it. What is this doing? How stupid. So I came up with a saying like, only squares smoke squares, right? And it's not if you're a cigarette.
A cigarette's a circle.
Yeah, it is, but we call them squares. Like, hey, you got a square? Let me get a square. So I say only squares smoke squares. But if that's something that you're dealing with, man, and you feel like it's helping you, like by any means, I'm not here to tell you what's helping you or what's not. But I will say, study and meditation. Study and meditation is mastering your breathing technique. And it's crazy that this world would not tell you the truth by telling you that, ain't it crazy that this cigarette you think calming you down, and scientifically proven it probably can, it centers you. All right, I'm cool now. What make you think it's a cigarette? How you know it's not just the breathing? How you know it's not the, right? That's the same practice as meditation, Phil. But the world's so damn wicked and corrupt that they find a way to kill yourself, right? And then put it on the box. This causes that. And here I am still doing it. It's like, dude, you don't love yourself, man. You cannot love yourself. You can't. It's no way you can. And you put that in you, them type of toxins, right? It's like, come on, man. This your king? Like,
This is your king.
Yeah, this y'all king though, right? This cigarette smoking, meat eating, drinking liquor this your king? This the one that's supposed to, like, cut it out. Cut it out. I don't see it, right? And that's why I had to think about it. What is this cigarette? Let me think about it. It's a nicotine. It ends with teen, right?
Yeah.
I like to drink it with coffee, right? Which is caffeine, which ends with "-ine". What is all this "-ine"? What is all this? What is all this? Why do they go so perfect? And you just start studying stuff, and it's just like, man, they bamboozling us, right? And they just not honest about it. In California, any cancerous material, you have to put a cancerous tag on it. That shirt in Cali, it'll literally say it can cause cancer. Right?
Why would the shirt cause cancer?
The materials that it's made out of. It could be any type of form of plastic in it. You could be out working out, right? In the gym with your regular shirt on, your pores open, right? Now you hot. You could kind of be melting the chemicals into your anything, right? And it's like, they don't tell us all this stuff. They just don't tell us all this stuff. And that's why I say, like, you all you got. The best advice I can give people is think about it.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I loved it. I didn't even want it to end. We went over.
Yeah, we're at
serious?
2 hours already.
That was 2 hours?
Yes.
It seemed like we just said that.
Your poor sister, she's probably like, hell yeah, it's been 2 hours.
That's crazy. It didn't even seem that long. This was fun. It's kind of reminded me back to our college days.
Or Central days. We're just chilling in the room, talking all the time.
So I'm going to send you something. I meant to bring you a gift. I like to bring like flowers, a candle or something. But I'm like extremely proud of you. Like what you're doing is like so needed. It is so needed. So
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm definitely cheering for you.
Thank you. Thank you for making time. Thank you for coming.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Anytime. This won't be the last time.
This won't be the last time.
Yeah.
All
won't
right.
be the last time.
Thank you, Vo, for stopping by.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you for listening to Tuesdays with Andrea. There are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I appreciate you making the time to listen to mine. If you like this show and want to know more, check out TuesdaysWithAndrea.com. Or please leave a review on iTunes or drop a line in the YouTube comments section. Until next time, please stay kind in your mind, nice on the web, and stay hella hopeful in your heart.